The key to getting good looking eyes is to eliminate the noise. I'm going to make a new layer. Despite all the plugins out there, I'm going to do this manually. I'm going to pick a noise filter, reduce noise, and working in the advanced section on a per channel basis. I'm going to focus most of the strength in the red channel because the eyes have a lot of red in there. The green and the blue channel, I'm going to set them about 5 and 50%. In the overall section, I'm going to keep my strength and my preserved details of the luminosity all the way up. In this case, the JPEG artifact is actually assisting me, so I'm going to unclick that. I don't want to remove that. I want to be a little bit sharper in the color area, so I'm going to reduce the noise a little bit more and sharpen the details a little bit more. I like where that's at. Look at the before and after. It's looking pretty good. Let's zoom back out to 300%. It eliminated a lot of the red in the eye, but the pupil is still a little mottled. Let's look at it in the rest of the image. Maybe a little bit too much, so I'm going to lower the opacity down of that level to about 50%. I lost a little bit of detail here in the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, and around the mouth where the lips meet the skin. I'm going to make a new layer, bring some detail in here. I'm going to use desaturate and high pass filter. And high pass, everything that's gray will not get sharpened, and everything that's black will get sharpened. Now you high pass filter junkies are going to look at me and go, oh my god, this guy's crazy, but I'm not going to keep a nice low radius. I'm going to sharpen pretty much everything. So I'm going to crank that all the way up to 250. I'm going to apply a soft light blend mode and lower the opacity of that whole layer to 33%. This could still be a little bit sharper, so I'm going to put an unsharp mask filter on here. It's barely going to have any impact, but it will add a little bit more contrast. I'm going to keep my threshold fairly low at 399% at 0.9 of a radius. And that looks pretty good. There's not too much color shift. I'm back off and look at the color shift of the whole image. The color's good and actually added more contrast and a little more detail. I'm going to save my original layer and blend all three of those down to keep my file size down. Let's go back and look at the eye again. So the pupils are a little bit mottled. The color is good, but the noise reduction layer made it a little bit darker with the soft light blend mode. So I'm going to put a dodge and burn gray layer on here, and flowing at 3% with a brush, I'm just going to paint these dark spots just to even out some of the mottling that has occurred as a result of the reflection of the inside of the eye. Just catches everything around, and sometimes that is good, sometimes it's bad. And darken up some of these lighter spots. Make a clear distinction between the pupil and the iris. Switch between black and white. And that's looking pretty good. I'm just going to blur my soft light layer a tiny little bit. And that's looking good, and I'll merge that down. Now the color's still a little bit dark on the eye, or should I say the exposure. So I'm going to separate the pupil and put it on its own layer, and using the adjustments of exposure, I'm just going to turn that up a little bit. It's not going to switch any of the color, it's just going to make it a little bit brighter. I want to keep the color of the pupil as natural as possible. And that's looking pretty good. We eliminated a lot of the red out of the eye and the mottling in the pupil and made it a little clearer. The eyelashes are nice and crisp. We lost a little bit of detail in some other areas of the photo, but you can easily just put a mask on here, grab a brush, soft flow, and just bring back some of those details wherever you need it, whatever's going to work in your image. Maybe the skin might be a little too crispy. You want to bring some of that back. Here I'm going to work a little bit on the tip of the nose, the bridge of the nose, but that's pretty much it for taking care of your eyes. So thanks for listening, and good luck.